Okay, so once you've got some images, and especially some crops of images you're ready to work with, then you can sign on to Google. You will need a Google account to do this. If you're signed into your Gmail, then you're fine. And you'll need to go to the Google Documents page, which hopefully you're familiar with through maybe using its word processor, that sort of thing. The interfaces do look a little different here than they did for a while. And you'll click on Create Drawing. Okay, and this is a pretty simple program, but it does what we need it to do. And just to give you an overview here, you can see pretty familiar sort of menu up top of options, much like a word processor, with some specific tools down below. And the first thing you may want to do is just to think about what size you want your canvas to be, as it were. And you want to go ahead and set your background, which it should be white for this project. And now you're ready to start bringing some pictures in. Now, if you've already got some cropped, that actually is pretty easy. I mean, you can just simply go to wherever you've got them stored away here. And drag one onto the screen. And start manipulating it, or you could even drag a couple. Almost like I still only did one at a time. And then these just become editable objects. They are collections of pixels treated much like a vector shape, in that it can be moved around and it's not nailing those pixels down in any way. The basic tools you'll need are scale, and as you might guess, you can grab on any of these corners and grab it to shrink it or expand it. And the important thing here is that you don't distort your images, because we don't want to call that kind of attention to your imagery in this project. We'll do that for the next project. So when you're scaling, hold down Shift while you click. So I'm holding down Shift, and then when I click, excuse me, that's my dog barking at me, I can scale without distorting. If I hadn't held down Shift, then I'd do that kind of thing, and I don't want to do that. Undo. Shift and expand. So you click on the image you want to work with, and that's the one that's active at the moment. You can move it around. This is the way you turn it. Click on that little handle, and it gives you a degree. You can even kind of guess about where you want it. So 190 degrees. There it is. And still scalable. There's some other fancy things in there that might be useful to you. You can actually rotate it exactly 90 degrees, or you can even mirror it, flip it horizontally, make it mirrored. And importantly, you can copy and paste, just like a word processor. So copy and paste. And here are more than one. You can scale them differently. And notice that I'm working on and off my canvas. That way I can just start to use the whole space. I can even just throw something over here on the edge for a little while. And if I want to get a better view of it, I can even zoom out and really see my whole picture. But the copy and pasting, there's some shortcuts even to this if you like. Quite useful. Alright. So those are the basic kinds of things you'll want to do with your actual image. what else do we need to know here? We need to know text. It's going to be your main thing. And with text, it's this. You basically operate it the same as you would an image. Once you click the text box, you drag where you want the window to be, and I want you to type it in. And there it is. It's quite small. And you don't have much control over the typography here. We're going to get into that later with different programs. But you can, through selecting it, make it bigger, bold, italic, even change color. And the whole time, you can still, well, the scaling doesn't do much here because you've already set your typeface. But you can turn it. Oops. Move it around. Let's make it bigger. Now in this case I made it bigger, but it turned into a 2-line because my original box wasn't big enough. So there we go. And that's pretty much all you need to know to do your compositions here. You get your pictures in there. Oh, I showed you how to drag them on there, but if you wanted to do it by menu, you could just say insert image and then go choose your file as well. There you go. And that should do it. We're not going to use even half of these tools in this particular project. And once you're done, you'll do some exporting, which we'll go over that later.